Senator Waters.
Thanks, Mr President. My question is to the Minister representing the Treasurer, Senator Cormann. I refer to
Just a moment, Senator Waters. Order on both sides. Order. Senator Bernardi and Senator Cameron. Order. Senator Waters, would you like to start again? Thank you.
Thanks, President. My question is to the Minister representing the Treasurer, Senator Cormann. I refer to reports that the new Northern Australia Infrastructure Facility announced in the budget could see taxpayers' money used to finance Galilee Basin coal mines, railways and coal ports beside the Great Barrier Reef.
On my right.
In this age of climate change, when we know that the Galilee Basin coal must stay in the ground, and after 11 international banks have ruled out financing these projects, handing over taxpayers' money to mining billionaires to fund economically unviable white elephants is sheer madness. Can you guarantee that taxpayers' money won't be used to prop up these climate-destroying coal mines?
The Minister for Finance, representing the Treasurer, Senator Cormann.
Mr President, and I thank Senator Waters for that question, and may I also congratulate Senator Waters on her elevation as a co-deputy leader of the Greens. Now, I've got to answer the final part of the question first, and that is I can give you an absolute guarantee that the Northern Australia Infrastructure Facility will not be used to fund white elephants. I can absolutely guarantee that the Northern Australia Infrastructure Facility, which is a very important tool for us to strengthen growth and create more jobs across our great north, it will not be used to fund white elephants. What it will do is it will be available to help us leverage private sector investment in the important productivity-enhancing, job-creating infrastructure of tomorrow. What it will do, it will help us create growth across our north, from North Queensland to the Northern Territory to the north of Western Australia. I would have thought that as a senator representing the great state of Queensland, you would be all in favour of more investment in infrastructure in North Queensland. And of course, coal is our second biggest export. I mean, the biggest export, the largest export income comes from iron ore, about 21%. And when I last looked, our national export income from coal was about 12 or 13%. Now, that is a very important industry for us. It is an industry that I would like to continue to see grow and prosper. I think it's a great opportunity for us to continue to strengthen growth across North Queensland and other parts of Australia. Now, we haven't made any decisions about specific—
Pause the clock. Senator Waters, a point of order.
Thanks, Mr President. I think the Minister might have just that second actually been coming to my question, which I am interested in an answer to. Particularly, will that facility be used to fund Galilee Coal Basin projects?
Well, thank you, Senator Waters. I'll call the Minister.
Thank you very much, Mr President. Well, I was answering the question, but just to be very specific, I'm not going to preempt what projects will be invested in through that facility, because of course we'll go through a proper, orderly and methodical process to ensure that the investment is directed into sound, very strong economic infrastructure. But would I rule it out? No, I won't rule it out, because I don't want to rule out anything.
Thank you, Minister. The time for answering the question has expired. Supplementary question, Senator Waters.
Yes,
just a moment, Senator Waters. On my left. Order. Senator Waters.
Thanks, President. A supplementary. The Abbott Government has abolished the mining tax and the carbon price. You're handing billions to big polluters under direct action and $10 billion more in fossil fuel subsidies. You're trying to axe the Clean Energy Finance Corporation, and yet now you're proposing a Dirty Energy Finance Corporation. Minister, hasn't your government done enough to wreck the climate without setting up yet another slush fund for the coal industry?
Minister.
Thank you very much, Mr President. I completely reject the premise of that question. I mean, yes, we got rid of the mining tax because it was a job-destroying tax which was undermining our international competitiveness. Yes, we got rid of the carbon tax because it was a tax that undermined our economic prosperity without doing anything for the environment. Now, let me just say that coal, coal is a very important export product for Australia. And coal, I mean, as I've said here before, we'll have to agree to disagree. I believe that coal is good. I believe that coal is good. I believe that coal has helped lift people around the world out of poverty. It has helped lift living standards, and long may that be the case. And I was persuaded by none other than Dr. Bob Brown, of course, who told us that coal-fired power the best option. Coal-fired power the best option. That is what Dr. Bob Brown from Tasmania said.
Minister.
Coal-fired power. I mean, the Greens have got to sort themselves out. The Greens have got to decide what they believe in.
Thank you, Minister. Senator Waters, final supplementary question.
Thanks, President. A further supplementary. The Prime Minister's top business advisor, Maurice Newman, says climate change is a UN hoax. The Treasurer's budget speech didn't even mention climate change. The budget papers include graphs showing projections for our biggest export commodity, which, as you rightly mentioned, is iron ore, and our third biggest, LNG, but they conspicuously miss out coal, because coal prices have plummeted as the world shifts to renewables. Why won't this government admit that the age of coal is over?
Minister.
Well, I mean, the reason we don't admit that the age of coal is over because it isn't. I mean, it's very hard to admit to something that isn't true. I mean, like in this government, we actually believe in telling the truth. We believe in being open and transparent with the Australian people. Why would you want me to say something that I know to be untrue? I won't, and nobody on this side of the parliament will. I mean, I'd love to continue to have these conversations with Senator Waters and the Greens about coal, but I've got to say what I've said here before. I find it very hard to take the Greens seriously on this because right now they are fighting for regular reductions in the tax on fuel. Right now they're fighting to hand back hundreds of millions of dollars to big oil. So don't come in here telling us sanctimoniously on how we should shut down the coal industry and shut down the iron ore industry and shut down farming and go and sit in caves. We actually want to continue to grow the economy. We want to continue to lift living standards. That is what we're doing. But you know, you go.
Thank you, Minister. The time for answering the question has expired. Senator